Hey, ladies and gents, it's Wednesday morning, and I hope you're with us for the devotional. I keep calling it in the morning because I presume you have your devotion in the morning, but that's a silly presumption. Many people have their devotion other times of the day. Just have a devotion, I don't care when it is. But it's just good to be with you today, this Wednesday. We've been talking about the call of Moses, haven't we? One of the things that he was told by God to do at the burning bush is quite significant. God said to Moses, the ground you're standing on is holy ground. Therefore, take off your shoes. Now, the taking off the shoes is not that big a deal. He's trying to tell us something. That walking on holy ground demands holiness on your behalf. You don't walk into the presence of a holy God with an obnoxious attitude. You don't walk to the presence of God with an overconfident attitude. You come generally on your knees, and sometimes even like Isaiah, on your face, into the presence of a holy God. In order for us to be able to stand boldly in the presence of a holy God, we have to be holy. And now you think, well, that means I have to be behaviorally perfect. I'm not saying that at all. Otherwise, none of us, I don't think, would ever become perfectly holy if that was what holy meant. Holiness in this sense is talking about the hatred of sin and the desire of specifically purposing yourself for the cause of God. Holiness simply means to be set apart. And when God said to Moses, you're on holy ground, God knew, Moses knew that God was about to appoint him for a specific task that required specific obedience. It was a specific thing. And so when Moses stood on holy ground, he waited for God to commission him to what God wanted him to do. Holy ground means I have dedicated myself fully to the purpose of God. Holiness simply means I'm an instrument in God's hands that no one else can use. Satan, if you want a tool, use something or somebody else. You're not going to use me. Materialism, you're not going to use me. The worldly system out there is not going to use me. I am dedicated to the service of a holy God because I am holy in my relationship with him. He's declared me that the sins of my father and my sins have been forgiven, and I stand righteous before him. I am holy. Now I am set apart for the purpose of God. Who's using you right now? Is your business using you? Is the corporate world consuming you? Is your pleasure in life, is that what's using you? Because you need to work out if you are holy, you're dedicated to the purpose of God, to nothing else. Nothing wrong with some of those other things at all. Nothing wrong with doing well in business and playing sports and having hobbies. But if those things usurp the place of God, then you're not walking in holiness with a very holy God. It requires total dedication to him. Doesn't mean you're going to be behaviorally perfect. We're all going to mess up from time to time. I'm sure you all agree on that. But it just simply means my heart is towards God. My heart is toward fulfilling his purpose. My heart is toward making my life reflect his glory and not my own. That's what holiness looks like. And we dedicate ourselves to that. What a pleasure that is. I'll give you a silly illustration. I've used it before. My dad was not a very good fisherman. And as kids, we loved to fish. We just ate, slept, drank fishing. And my dad used to have to take us fishing. And he was forever baiting our hooks and fixing up our tangled lines and everything. But he had a particular fishing reel. And it was a beautiful fishing reel. And we all kind of coveted his fishing reel. But he said, I don't own much. And everything I have belongs to you guys. And it certainly did. But he said, my fishing reel, that's mine. That's mine. Don't touch my fishing reel. And so we never did. And I was so offended. When he died, he left the fishing reel to my brother instead of leaving it to me. Probably because my brother was a far better fisherman than I was. But he left the thing that was holy, set apart, used only by him, he left it to my boy. But at the same time, I'm seeing that as a picture of us. That God's saying, hey, Satan, don't touch my man. He's a holy man. He's holy, set apart for my purpose. But your holiness is in your hands. The depth of your holiness is in your hands. How much you want to desire to follow and to serve God is up to you. And the degree of your holiness, if there is such a thing, is in your head and in your hands. I hope that it will in your heart be turned towards God to say, Lord, I belong to you. I don't want to belong to anybody else. I want to serve you. And at the end of the day, I want to fulfill your purpose for my life because I'm wholly dedicated to your purpose. And I think about that today. Wouldn't it be great if we could just all declare ourselves to be wholly set apart for the purpose of God, kind of like my dad's fishing reel for him. Have a great day.